Hey everyone, it's Nancy with Soulfish, and it is Thank You Thursday. We give away a free t-shirt to a lucky subscriber who has also commented in the last 30 days. This week's winner is Friend to Animals, right there. And if you want to see a picture of the t-shirt that you can win, it is also right here, or there's a link below. You can see it on our website. And don't forget to subscribe and just leave us a comment in the last 30 days and you will be eligible to be entered to win a free t-shirt. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Hey everyone, welcome to Soulfish. I am really glad that you're here. You know, I can't think of a more incredible time that we're under than right now. You know, we've had this entire year of change, of transformation. I think of a lot of ascendance. In other words, if you were a 3 out of a 10, you know, if 1 you feel crummy and 10, you know, you're awesome, and you were a 3, I wouldn't be surprised if then this year you didn't say, hey man, I'm really more of like a 4. Like, I feel everyone has come up just a little bit, just a touch. That's not to say there's not craziness going on in the world. That's not to say that we don't have a lot of evil and dark stuff going on that sucks and that needs to be resolved. But I am talking in real sense that things are changing. I see a lot of shifts in people in a very positive way, in a very introspective, increase your beingness, spirituality kind of way. And I think that's an amazing thing, because it's really super hard work to work on yourself, to fix yourself. Because the first thing you have to do is admit that you have a flaw, that you didn't handle something correctly, that, you know, that you aren't, you know, at your best in these types of situations, and maybe you should do something about that. You know, that's not happy necessarily, you know, kumbaya thoughts there, right? When you look at yourself and you say, hey man, there's some work that really needs to be done here, and you realize that no one's gonna save you from that work, right? No one's showing up to say, hey dude, you don't have to do any more work. I'm taking it all off of you, and you know, you get a free ride, you get the free ticket. It's not how this is set up. That wouldn't even make any sense for everything that you've experienced or gone through, would it? I mean, that you abdicate all of that and let somebody else do it for you when you've done everything else to that moment. It's a conflictory model. It makes no sense. They're not even in parallel. So the idea here is that you have to affect the change in you. And when you do so, that lifts you up. And in lifting you up, it positively impacts everyone else. So what about right now? What's special about right now? I call this time kind of the squeeze, because you are about to start a whole new story, and the new you is emerging. So you're finding now that as you are walking as the new you, the real you, or the soon-to-be everyday you, this guy, you still have 40%, 30%, whatever, of the old you attached, right? And so as we head in this time before that new story starts, that little left percentages of you, of stuff that was part of the old model, part of book 1 model, part of the old you, the stuff that you no longer need, or hurts, damages, pains, regrets, guilts, are starting to emerge right now as you're kind of being squeezed here, because that's part of that percentages that you don't have to take with you. And so you're really starting to come to terms with that. I mean, it's coming to a head, right? So that's happening for a lot of us right now. The byproduct of that, when you're working through a lot of those issues, and so many, it could be a lot of little issues with one medium-sized one in there, right? But when you're trying to dump these rocks out of your pocket, some of it comes down to you start to pick up some physical elements from it too. So remember that if you don't resolve something from your spirit, then it comes to your mind. Your mind then takes this issue and builds a story around it through past, current, or what may be perceived as future events, and builds the story around it, which you then start to own as your worldview. You know, and that could be on a personal reflection, I am this, or I am not this, or that could be, oh, that person is this, or that person's evil, or I don't like that person because they look like that. You know, however you project it, in or out, the reality is that that is a distraction. That is not what you're here to do to fix yourself. In other words, those are all those are all things like you don't have control of. You're fixated out there. That's why it doesn't make any sense and nothing ever changes. You have to start here. If you have issues that you find out here, that means there's a triggering something in you. And if it's triggering something in you, then that's yours to figure out, why does that hype you in that way? Why does that amp me up? Why does that make me angry? Why does that make me sad? What's going on with that? Why would I respond that way? Did I respond or did I react? Because if I had responded, that would have come from a place of awareness, but I didn't do that. I reacted. Right? You're finding this is the time that we're doing that in, but it's not like big problems so much as more of little reminders. These are all little tests that allow you to practice being the new you, which is soon to be the current you. Isn't that interesting? Current energy. I like that. So I want you to know that you're in the right place, that you're supposed to be here where you are right now, that you coming to terms, acceptance, resolution with whatever happened in the past, that you're here today, that you're here today for a reason, that all of those things, whether you understand it or not, what if you just accepted it? What if you could just say, I'm never going to understand all of that and why I did that. It's so easy for me to see now or whatever, but I have this guilt, this regret, or I should have turned left and I turned right and here I am and I'm stuck with this decision and I'm always going to, that whole deal, yeah, you can approach it from that angle, no doubt, okay? But you've already been doing that and here you are. So my point to you is, it's not going to get you where you want to be. I mean, so what? So what? You don't have a time machine. You're not going back. So you're here today. So you can sit here and go, gosh, but it doesn't matter because you're here today and you're awesome today. And maybe, unbeknownst to you, because you can't get this out of the way, what you thought it should have been like or how you feel kind of pwned or whatever. The reality is all of those things that happen are why you are you today. And I'm glad for that. I'm glad you're you today. You're here with me. And if we had been somebody else, maybe we wouldn't have been awakened. Maybe we wouldn't have known anything. Maybe we wouldn't have been shared. Maybe these experiences we had were enough of an opposing force for us to say, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go over here now. I'm never doing that again or whatever. Who knows? It's so complex. We have tiny brains in comparison. So what if we just accept and say, hey man, I'm here. And from here, I've gotten a really good start. This is my starting point. What if this is your starting point today? And you say, man, all this stuff helps me to start awesomely today. I was talking to somebody earlier and I was thinking, they were saying, gosh, it's taken so hard for me to get to this moment. And this is just my starting place. And then I said to them, hey, how cool is that? Because if it took all of that for you to get to a starting place, that must be a heck of a great story and some longevity there for you to have that much preparation for what you're about to do. And that's what's happening with you, my friend. So if you're in this moment and you feel this kind of, just understand that it's like a sieve, right? It's just going to come out of you, the stuff you don't need, and you're going to be left with what you do. So stay focused on that. You're special. You're looked after. This whole place is designed for our well-being. The more I study, the more I learn, the more I work with people, the more I touch with spirit and source, and I'm tapped in, the more I realize that there is so much that's done for us that we just have no idea. So if you can trust me a little bit and know that you are loved and looked after beyond anything here, and know that you have a job to do and do it, and know that it's going to be okay and you're in your right spot right now, and it's all about to show itself for you. Just keep the good vibes. Much love.